Hey guys, how are you? Welcome back to my channel and Happy New Year. So today I wanted to talk to you about a few tips, 6 tips actually, that are gonna help you beat procrastination and get into flow. So stay tuned, we're gonna go into these 6 tips. Make sure you subscribe, like this video, and share with someone who could use these tips. Okay, so my first tip for beating the distraction and getting into flow, and it might seem so obvious, but get rid of all the clutter. So the physical clutter, like things on your desk, anything extra that you don't need, wherever your workspace is, get rid of any of the distractions. And when I'm talking about distractions, I don't just mean physical, because that seems very obvious. Things on your desktop, right? Like little pop-ups that might come up, or just extra clutter that you have on your desktop. Clean all of that up so you don't get distracted and can stay in flow. Okay, so my next tip for you to get rid of the procrastination and really get into flow is to focus on one thing at a time. A lot of times people think that multitasking is the best thing for them, but it actually does the reverse. It actually wastes more time. So to get rid of those distractions, focus on one thing and only that thing. And then when you're done, move on to the next thing. So what we really want to focus on here is following that one thing through to completion. So whether it's an email that you're sending out, maybe it's a contract you're sending out, maybe you're in flow with sales calls that you're doing, stay in that zone and then see that one thing through and then move on to the next thing. By going back and forth, you waste so much time, and statistics actually show that you can waste up to 40 minutes to get back into the thing that you were originally doing when you skip from thing to thing and go back and forth, rather than just staying in the one task at hand. So make sure that you're focusing in on one task at a time to get rid of that procrastination and stay in flow. Okay, so the next thing I want to share with you about really just getting rid of that procrastination and aligning yourself to maximize your time and get into that flow every single day is working in your peak hours, like your peak windows of time. So for me, before I had kids, this looked very different. I had really endless amount of time to get my work done, and for me at that time it was in the afternoons. It was when I was just more awake, my workouts were out of the way, and those were my peak hours. Now it's my morning time. So for me, you guys have seen before in past videos that I work out first thing in the morning, but for me, once I get my kiddos or Jake really off to school and Jordy is down for his nap and he's kind of gone through his morning routine, my peak windows are the mornings. So that's really when I'm getting the really important things, the most important tasks done and out of the way. So those are my peak windows. Find what works for you. Maybe you play with the mornings and see how that works, or maybe the afternoons are more of your speed. But figure out what that is and align that with your money-making moves. Those big money moves that I always talk about that allow you to move your business forward, and be very intentional about that. So by doing that and really focusing in on those peak hours of time, you're actually going to get more done and be more strategic about how you do it. Okay, so my next tip that I want to share with you about beating the procrastination and staying in flow is to break those big, really daunting tasks into smaller tasks. So whatever it is that you need to do, like when you sit down at your computer and you start the workday and you have this really big thing that you need to accomplish, don't look at it as a whole. Look at it in the smaller bite-sized steps that you can accomplish, right? So let's say your workday is a 6-hour day or an 8-hour day, whatever that is for you. I know a lot of working moms that work 4 hours a day. So whatever that time is for you, look at that big thing, that big project that you need to get done, and really give yourself milestones. Like break it down into those milestone bite-sized chunks so you can accomplish what you need to for that day and actually move the ball forward and see the progress. It might take you more than a day to accomplish it. It might take you just one day broken down into smaller steps, but at least doing it this way, you're gonna get it done and you don't look at it as this big daunting task. Okay, so the next tip that I wanna share with you, this is one of my favorites. So this is batching out your days. And I've been doing this for years, and this has been probably one of the biggest success tips that I can share with you that allows you to get more done and be more strategic about what you're doing. So let me explain to you a little bit about how this works. So for me, I have certain days that I'm working in and on my business. If you don't know what the in and on the business is, reach out to me and we can chat about that. I have a full training on the in versus on the business. But when I'm in my business, I'm doing the fulfillment. I'm meeting with my clients, I'm creating my content, I'm meeting with my team. When I'm working on the business, it's the fun stuff. It's like today, it's content days. It might be branding. It's all of the fun stuff, like the networking, right? So we need both of those in our business. And what I do is I give myself designated days. So for me, every Monday is anything for my academy. I have a high performance accelerator academy, and every single Monday, all of my content, everything I'm doing is based on the academy. So Mondays, I'm delivering the content, I'm creating content for the following week. I may be reaching out to guest speakers that are gonna be potential guests in the academy. So everything falls under Academy Day. That's a Monday. My Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, my middle of the week days, are my fulfillment. And those are all my one-on-one client days. And then my Fridays, like today, are my content days, VIP days for clients, running errands, but they're also personal days. My Fridays are half admin days, content days, and then the other half is family days. It's family time. So for me, as a working mom and running a business and a high performance business and home and my kids and my husband, I need to make sure that I'm plugged into every single area and that everything is running at high performance and at top speed. And the way that I do this is I'm very intentional about my time and my boundaries. And when I really get clear on what I'm doing on which days, that allows me to get really strategic on what I'm doing when. So try out this technique. Let me know which days you're planning out your content in or on the business. Let me know how that works out for you, but get really strategic, and I promise this will allow you to tap into high performance and time management, and you're gonna see your productivity go through the roof. Okay, so my next tip that I want to share with you about getting into the flow and getting rid of procrastination is blocking out enough time to get done what you need to get done. And this is both personal and in business. A lot of times we either think that we need more time than we actually need, or something actually takes less time than we think. And the problem here is that there's not enough time allocated to the thing that we actually need to get done. So I have a little trick for you here that can work moving forward on how you can really make sure you're blocking out enough time to get done the things that you need to do. So here's a little trick. What I want you to do for the next 24 hours is write down all the things that you're doing, personal and in business. If it takes you 10 minutes to write an email, write out 10 minutes to write an email. If it takes you an hour to do your prospecting every single day, write that out. Newsletters, marketing, ads, whatever it is that you're doing. Maybe you write down it takes 30 minutes to go pick your kids up from school. Whatever that is for you, I want you to do an audit of that time. Once you know how long things actually take, you're gonna see that the things that you do probably take more or less than what you thought they actually took to do. So now that you know the true time on all the things that you're doing, now going forward, you have close to a good idea about how long it's gonna be for you in the future. So now going forward, you can say that you're blocking out, 4 hours a day for your business. You know that you're gonna have the afternoons for your kids. For me, personally, I break out my time. So every morning from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m., some days it's 4 p.m. because that's when Jake gets home from school. Other days when I do pickup, it's 2:30. But again, because I know my days, I know exactly how long my tasks are gonna take me, and I'm not guessing at this every single day. So do this little exercise, and I promise that this is gonna allow you to really get into the flow, not procrastinate, and get more done strategically. Okay, so my final tip for you on how to beat procrastination and stay in the flow, this is kind of like a two-part tip, okay? All right, so the first part of this is, you guys know what I always say. I say it in Slay Your Day, I talk about it all the time, and it's to focus on your top 3 needle-moving activities every single day. What I wanna say about this is, it's not 3 tasks you're writing down, 3 in personal, 3 in business, 3 in fitness. You're back to a to-do list. So focus on your top 3 things that you need to do every single day. Now, how do we identify what those needle moving activities are? Now, go back to my Big Money Moves training to figure out what your big money moves are. However, when you go back to the last step and you do that audit and you see, okay, I sent out the newsletter and it got me 2 new clients because I sent that out. I shot the content and I got 5 new people to sign up for my newsletter or my program or reach out to me for a call. You're gonna be able to start to identify what your big money moves are and what those needle moving activities are. So as you do this, you're gonna be able to identify what is moving you forward. So based on that, you can start to look at those tasks and say, these are high priority tasks that I need to get done, and these are lower. These are maybe not as high of a priority. So the second part of this tip is know what those high priority tasks are and know what the lower priority tasks are. And every day it's gonna change. Some days you might have more family, you might have more business on other days, and it changes and it ebbs and flows. But when you know what those high priority tasks are, linked with your big money moves, you got a winning formula. Okay guys, so these are my 6 tips on how to beat procrastination and stay in the flow. I use these every single day in my business, both in my business with all the tasks I'm doing and in my personal life to make sure I'm really tapping into high performance and getting all the things done that I need to get done on a daily basis. So try out these tips, comment below, let me know if these have helped you or what some of your favorite tips are. Share this with a friend and I'll see you on the next one.